But right now, we're wrapping up semifinal. Number 1, Brown, Williams, Booth, and Thomas. Once again, Ross Williams with a stellar 8-0.
Big score, and this might be what he needs to get him in the final here. Really solid maneuvers on this one, and the judges love it. Meanwhile, outside, Marty Thomas, maybe his final ride. Little tentative off the top then. Gets a nice off the top the second one. He could have hit it harder on the first one, though. Little re-entry there at the end. Will that be enough to get him in the finals? Chris Brown would like to get in the finals, get big floater. Oh, he comes around that section, up there again. Can he stay with it? Oh, he goes down, and that might be it for Chris Brown. That might be his chance that he didn't make the final.
Thomas seemed just a little tentative there in his final ride, but hopefully, at least he was thinking he had enough. Brownie, that last mistake might have cost him.
Well, I don't know if he's got enough juice, but I'll tell you what, that last wave of Ross Williams, he definitely had the juice, and I think he's in the finals.
Down to the beach, Chris Morrow is with Marty Thomas.
All right, just at a semifinal number 1, Marty Thomas. Marty, you looked like a tight heat. Lead exchanged about 3 or 4 times in that heat. What's it like out there?
Yeah, it was real difficult. You know, I took a chance starting down the beach, got a few lefts off the beginning, but then up the beach, all the peaks started coming in, and I was pretty fortunate. Chris Brown needed, I think, a 6-8 on his last wave, and he had a really good wave, and he fell at the end. So, you know, I had a couple waves under my belt. I was fortunate that, you know, CB didn't finish off that wave, but I'm really pleased to be in the final, and I look forward to it.
Is your strategy going to change at all in the final?
Well, I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes really looking to see where the best waves are coming in. I'll, you know, see where my competitors go and, you know, adjust then.
All right, Marty, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Bill Peter, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Time now to dig into the mailbag, and for this, we go up to Ventura, California, and Mike Hernandez, who asks a very interesting but simple question. Do they ride different boards in Hawaii that they do in California? Do they?
Absolutely. I mean, here in California, the boards tend to be shorter, a little quicker, maybe a little bit more thickness sometimes just to float through the sections. But when you go to Hawaii, you need the length, because the big difference is the speed and power of the wave. It's moving so much quicker. You need length and also narrowness so that you can hold in once you get in the power. So definitely a difference. You need the length over there to catch the wave.
PT is the answer man. Mike, you have a Surfing Magazine subscription coming your way for us reading your letter on the air. By the way, keep those letters, cards, pictures, drawings coming. We're getting pictures, we're getting drawings. Awesome job, everybody. Keep coming. All right. Time now for semifinal 2, and you know what? We're not worthy, are we?
We're not worthy.
We are not worthy of semifinal number 2, because this may be the best semifinal we've ever had in the Bud Surf Tour. Tell us why.
Well, we thought we had a good quarterfinal up in Pismo. Remember that one? Well, this one has 2 world champs and 2 Bud Surf Tour champs. It doesn't come any better than this one. Leading it off, though, Derek Hoey, the current world champion from Hawaii. He's great in beach break conditions, even though he's from Hawaii. He grew up at a place called Sandy Beach, so he excels in the beach breaks. We got Kelly Slater. Of course, we don't need to introduce this guy. He's been a ripper this year on the tour, and of course won the World Championship 2 years ago. Rob Machado, the defending Bud Surf Tour champion. Now, we don't have to say much about him. He's awesome in the beach breaks also. And finally, Shane Beschen won the Bud Tour 2 years ago. We don't see too much of him on the Bud Tour these days, but he's going to rip it out here also. I don't know. I'd hate to pick this one.
Beschen, Machado, Slater, Hoey. Too bad we don't have any talent. Let's go to the water, semi number 2.
Well, this is a great lineup here, and conditions are holding up. We'll see how it goes, and opening up the exchange. Slater, a little barrel from the takeoff, gets in the barrel, opening wave. What a way to start for Kelly Slater. Drives down the line here, comes into that next little section. A lot of speed. Looks like he could be at Sebastian Inlet where he grew up. And a great opening ride there for Kelly Slater.
Boy, Slater wants it all this year. Everything he enters. There's Rob Machado taking his first wave in this semi.
Nice little left. Machado drops to the bottom, rockets off the bottom, snaps it off the top. Round this section, another snap on the open face, sends a big spray, roundhouse wraparound. Good opening ride for Machado. I'm telling you, Billy Mack, we're going to have a rivalry between this guy and Kelly Slater in the 90s that I think will rival the legendary Karen Okalupo of the 80s.
Fast, quick, young, talented. Slater and Machado. Let's contrast them here, but the barrel for Kelly early for a 717.
Nice little takeoff there where he stalled and he went straight into the barrel. Got a couple more maneuvers. Meanwhile, down the beach, Machado picks up the biggest score, the 7.5, with the better open face maneuvers. Slater, of course, great open face surfer also, but that time he went for the barrel. That second snap there of Machado's was just unreal, and this roundhouse right on the rail. Great surfing from these two.
We're still waiting on Hoey and Beschen. We've already seen Machado and Slater now outside. Here he is, the world champ, Derek Hoey.
On his forehand on the lefts. He loves these lefts. He comes off the top, big floating move there. Beats it around that section, loses a little speed. Looks like he'll connect it. Little roundhouse wraparound from Derek Hoey. The opening wave here in his exchange for this semi-final here.
Obviously, if you're the world champ, you can surf any conditions, anywhere, anytime. But hey, Derek, how about that increased media coverage for you?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit surprised, but I guess that comes along with being a world champion, and it took me a long time to achieve this, and I'm just living it up right now and enjoying it, and I'm still competing and still working right now, so it's fun. I'm having fun working.
Well, one of the great victories in the World Tour this year when he won the Pipe Masters to win the World Championship, a come-from-behind victory. Meanwhile, here's Beschen on the backhand. First look at him, good snap off the top. Another one on the backhand, little snap there at the end. The first two were great, though. This is a good ride here. He's going to get a good score, I would say, on this one.
Beschen's got a little brother who is a hot young surfer who we'll be hearing from in the near future. But right now, we'll be back with more after this. Stay with us, please. We are back. Bud Pro Surfing for you on Prime. Semifinal number 2 here. The current standings, and once again, pretty close, although Derek Coe has some work to get back into things, PT.
Well, yeah, in the early going, looked to me like Machado was on his game, but he needs a couple of waves here. Here's Slater down the beach, taking his forehand here. Comes around that section, big floater over that section. Can he get back to the open face? I don't think so. A little bit of a fake move there at the end, trying to earn an extra point with the cover-up. Meanwhile, on the back end, here's Machado rocketing down the line. Comes around that section, snaps it on the open face. Little floater over that section. Definitely the better wave of the two right here to Rob Machado.
You talk about the rivalry. Once again, we stick them together. Slater, then boom. Right afterwards, there is Rob Machado. There's Kelly Slater. Derek Coe wants to know about media coverage. All he's got to do is ask Kelly. He knows all there is about that. Here's a 917 for Rob.
A great wave on his backhand, and the key was that first maneuver where he had all that acceleration around that section. Got a great open face move, and the judges love it.
Some great photo ops here today. Here's Beschen, the 92 Bud Surf champ.
He does a similar maneuver there to Slater with the big stall and gets a little cover up, little float there at the end, another whitewater float. Be interesting to see how the judges score that one. Remember that Slater's wave got in the 7s. Right now, Beschen could use this one. And, we don't see too much of him, but he's been surfing great. When I was in Australia, he was just ripping. Here's a look at it again. You see he stalls his arm in the face of the wave there to slow himself down. The curl comes over. He gets a little bit of the lip on the head, then he pulls it inside. He grabs a rail to stabilize himself, and he pops out. And pretty decent ride there for Beschen. Meanwhile, on the back end, here's Derek Coe. He's struggling a bit. He was in 4th place. Coming into the latter part of this semi-final here. On his back end, round that section, little floater. And Derek kicks out. I think he's going to need more than that one if he wants to get in the finals.
Right now, time for more quarterfinal action and more Gary Hoey.
You don't see too many tubes down here in Huntington, and I think I got pretty lucky. A wave came in, and I just stuck my hand in the wave and kind of stalled and got tubed.
And remember, if you want more Gary Hoey, once again, go see Endless Summer 2, another Bruce Brown classic. 2:24 remaining in semifinal number 2, so still a lot of great surfing left from Slater, Hoey, Machado, and Beschen.
Machado gets the great floater there on that wave, gets a little cover up, and then out on the open face, snap. Good wave from Machado. He's looking pretty good in this one. I think he might be in front right now, not long to go, and he's looking good for the finals. Slater right there too. And Beschen's had a couple. I think Derek Ho's out of the running, though.
We're going to see who's going to join Thomas and Williams in our final. And I'm sure a lot of people on the beach hoping it might be Slater and Machado. Oh, look at that floater PT in slow-mo.
That was a beautiful floater, and he does a little stall here, and he gets covered up as it crumbles on him. A 7.6, good solid score out on the open face. Good rip on the open face there with the tail slide. And it picks up the good score. The Grums are out in force to check out Slater and Machado. Here's Slater on the backhand. Tail stall there. Gets a nice tube on his backhand. Drives down the line. This is going to be a good score right here. Upside down rip there at the end, and that might be the wave Slater needs to get him in the finals. And here's Beschen charging here at the end. It's on for young and old here at the end of this one. Down the beach, Beschen with the floater.
Yes.
I don't know if this one's enough, though. Those last couple of waves of Machado and Slater pretty hot. And also Beschen there at the end.
You don't think everybody's got a lead foot right now? Accelerator all the way to the floor for all these surfers. Check it out, Slater stalling.
Great stall. You see him dragging the hand, just gets beautifully piped on his backhand. You think he was at pipeline on that one.
Speaking of pipeline, Shane Beschen been spending a lot of time over in the islands.
Just the more time you spend over there, the better, just because you're always surfing different boards and different size waves all the time. A lot of the time it's big, and it's when you come back and surf beach break, you just feel a lot more powerful, I guess, compared to the surf over there. You feel kind of small.
Yeah, it is a great feeling when you come up the North Shore to get small beach break conditions. You feel like you're unstoppable. Here's Derek Ho. I don't think he's got enough in this one to get him into the finals. He's had a pretty disappointing semi-final as the time is winding down here in this semi. But I say it's a pretty close battle here. I think Machado's probably got the #1 slot. Here's Beschen on the backhand, last gasp effort. Oh, he goes to the big aerial. He doesn't pull it, and that might be the difference right there. I don't think he'll overtake Slater with that one, but it's going to be tight. I think Machado's in the finals, though.
I don't know if the judges are going to like it, but the crowd just roared its approval. Back to tell you who advances after this.
All right, just out of semifinal number 2, Rob Machado. Rob, what a stacked semifinal heat that was. What goes through your mind when you got 3 other guys like that, like Slater, Ho, and Beschen in a heat like that?
Well, having 2 world champs out there and Shane, U.S. champ, it was pretty stacked, and it's just going to come down to who gets the waves and surfs the best. And you just got to go out and concentrate on doing your own thing and getting your own waves and just ride them.
I noticed a lot of you guys stayed pretty far apart from each other. Is that just sort of out of respect, not, keep away from hassling and just let it be a surf-off?
I don't know. It seems there's lots of waves, it's real spread out, so it's good, it keeps a lot of the hassling down, so it makes it a lot easier on us, I think.
All right, Rob, well, good luck.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Bill Peter, back to you.
Top 4.
Thank you, man. During the show, we've been listening to the music of Gary Hoey from the soundtrack of Endless Summer 2. Gary dropped by the event to jam with some of the guys and share his new music video featuring footage from the movie. Here's a sneak preview. They're back, and as the 5th event on the Longboard Tour made its way to the final, the big surprise was Ted Robinson's inability to make it past the quarters. For the first time this season, the bid for first was wide open for other top competitors.
Making it to the finals at Huntington Beach was Joel Tudor from the North County, San Diego, a real consistent performer. Also joining him out there, Izzy Paskowitz from San Clemente, a winner on the Bud Tour last season, and Josh Baxter from San Clemente. He's yet to win one, but I predict he's going to win one at some point this season. And Scott Daley, a veteran performer on the shortboard circuit, this time in the finals of the longboard. Daley, 8 years ago, made his way into the shortboard final, placing 4th here at this event. Today, Daley couldn't place any higher as the 2 of his 4 allotted waves scored the lowest of the entire final, and he finished in last place.
It's a lot of fun. I'm old enough where I started surfing in longboard days back in 1965, so it's enjoyable. You know, it's fun to come out here and be a part of it.
Sort of a weekend warrior type thing with some money on the side.
Yeah, extra money, and you know, lets me do my job, and then I can come out here and have fun with everyone else.
And it was no surprise when Josh Baxter made the final. He's made it every event this year, but he hasn't pulled off a win. Maybe this would be the week with Ted Robinson out.
Made a lot of finals, but never won one. I hope so. It gives me a lot better chance not having him in the final.
However, this final would be no exception because at Huntington, his wave count was the highest. His scores were not, earning him only enough for 3rd place. Often making the final rounds of competition, Israel Paskowitz is ranked top 10 the past 2 years on tour. In '93, Izzy came in first at both Oceanside and Trestles, but is still attempting to garner his first win in '94. It would not be at Huntington, however, as Izzy's wave total landed him a 2nd place.
The win of the day went to top-ranked Joel Tudor, who was the youngest competitor ever to win an ASP longboard event. Joel pulled off the 2 highest scoring waves and by a 2-point margin placed first. This win puts Joel up 1 notch to 2nd place in the current overall rankings. Joel talked about needing a win.
I guess it's just luck. I was lucky enough to catch a couple good ones. I'm stoked, man. I needed to win one. That was a definite good one for me. I'm stoked.
He is stoked. It means he has moved into 2nd place behind Mr. 3-Peat Ted Robinson. They're the standings in our longboard series. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the surfers will be in the water for our final. Don't move. It is time now for our surfing final. And remember, we're changing things a little bit. Instead of PT's picks, it's now PT's pick. And I love the animation we've got going. Let me tell you who's in it. First of all, coming out of one semifinal, Ross Williams and Marty Thomas. And then out of the super semi, it's Rob Machado and Kelly Slater. Pretty tough call here, and I think it's going to come down to Machado and Slater for you. Who are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick Slater.
And why?
Well, he's just been on a tear. Just the other week down here at Huntington, he won an all-star final. Machado was in it. Out here, he's looked great. I think Machado once again had a great semi-final. Remember, he let me down up in Pismo. I picked him up there, and he just didn't come through in the final. So I think Slater out here could have it.
Like my opinion means anything. I'll pick Machado. So we're going out against each other. Let's go to a final. We hope it's great. Here we go.
Well, as I said earlier, the rivalry shaping up between these two, Machado and Slater, is going to be stuff of legend here in the 90s. And Machado opening up straight away, comes up the bottom, rockets off the top right there, round that section, another little snap on the face, floats over that whitewater. Another floating re-entry as it closes out. And a great opening ride for Rob Machado.
A lot of adrenaline with these four.
And here's the first opening here from Marty Thomas, driving down the line on his forehand. Nice floating maneuver around that section, off the whitewater, and a re-entry there as it closes out into the reform.
Please tell me, conditions, how have they changed as we look outside?
A little bit more bump on the face as we see Ross Williams outside with some good backhand maneuvering. Little stall on his backhand there. Oh, and he loses it, but he got a couple of maneuvers outside. Conditions have deteriorated a little bit, but it's still great performance. As we take a look at Machado there with that great snap, followed up by a second one, and then he comes up with a little whitewater float right there, right over the top of that section. Another nice little whitewater float. Great wave there for Rob Machado. Also a good exchange here for Marty Thomas. Nice turn around that section, gets it up vertical off the whitewater.
You know, we keep talking about Machado and Slater, but we can't forget about guys like Thomas and Williams, PT especially Thomas.
Yeah, he's been a veteran of the WCT Tour. He could steal at any time. He's real experienced, and of course he grew up in Seal Beach, so no stranger to these conditions. Here's Machado again, a lot of speed down the line, accelerating over that whitewater. Oh, he's just ripping it down the line. A lot of speed here on this little inside section. Nice snapping roundhouse right there at the end, and Machado looking pretty good, following up a great semi-final performance. He's looking good again in the final.
He's light, quick, and fun to watch. Speaking of fun to watch, here's Slater.
First look at Slater. Nice carve on the open face there from Slater. Another snapping tail slide on the face by Slater again into the inside, and a good opening ride here for Slater. And already Machado, though, with a couple of good scoring rides on the board. Slater's going to have to pour it on in the middle and the latter part of this final here.
This year for Kelly, he's dedicated. It's nothing but surfing.
I'm really committed to surfing more events and just getting my contest act together. And I feel like it's helped this year doing the contest, the Bud Tours. I haven't done them in a couple years. And even then, I didn't do many of them. It was only like 1 or 2 a year. So I'm just trying to get back into my contest shape. And, you know, it's good practice doing 4-man heats because you got to hustle a little more for waves and stuff like that.
Well, that was a good ride there for Kelly Slater. And he's trying to stay apace with Rob Machado. Here's Marty Thomas, drops down to the bottom, comes around that section, gets it off the top there, down the inside, another little off the top, little floater there as the wave closes out. But his maneuvers needed to be a little stronger there to get the big score.
Yeah, nothing sensational there. Now Ross Williams' turn.
Williams on the backhand, driving down the line, nice floater around that section, comes up, nice vertical move there from Williams. Back on the open face, trying to get a little reform section, a little rebound off the whitewater, with a couple of strong moves outside from Ross Williams from away.
See what kind of score he can garner up. He's certainly going to need it going up against Slater and Machado, who look like they're at the top of their game so far here in the final.
Here's Slater on the backhand, gets up quick, big floater around that section. Can he get back on the open face? Rockets over that section there, nearly caught an edge coming down. Little re-entry there at the end, but he got such tremendous speed off that one turn. Now he's just playing with the whitewater. Outside Machado with the slash on the open face. Accelerates down the line, whacks it off the top there with a big tail slide. And that was an aggressive ending move there from Machado.
We know you're not channel surfing. We got more of the final coming up next. This is the Bud Surf Tour. You're watching it on Prime. Event number 4, Huntington Beach, California, Surf City, USA. Here are our standings right now in our final. Rob Machado, Kelly Slater. Check it out, one and the same. They're battling for it, followed up by Williams and Thomas. Back into the water. Here's Rob.
1/10 of a point separates them as Machado gets another wave here. Quick off the bottom, off the top combination. Rips it off the top there. Got the board out of the water there for a second. Nice roundhouse wrap around on the inside. This guy is so fast. Down the beach, Marty Thomas has been favoring the rights. He gets a wave here. Hasn't really got a strong maneuver in yet. A bit of an off the top there. He looks a little tentative. But outside, look at this wave for Slater. A big outside open face. He's flying down the line. He gets the air up above the wave and he pulls it. The crowd's going nuts on the beach. That's a great wave there for Kelly Slater.
Slater, big time, and Rob gives him a wave, says, yes, sir.
Well, I don't know if he's giving him a wave, yes, sir, because that was a great ride. As we take a look at Machado's last wave again, he drives down the line. He picks up the 6.93 with some strong maneuvers, gets a little air there on that section. But this wave of Kelly Slater's, which we'll take a look at here, you see he gets the good open face, nice carving cutback on the face. He drives down the line. You can see he's looking down the line. He sets it up. He launches right here, and he picks up the 7.77. So the better wave there to Slater in the exchange.
And you knew that was a nice acknowledgement of one master to the next.
And here we go on the backhand. Ross Williams with a good slash on the open face there, driving down the line. Nice re-entry there as the wave closes out, but he needed a little bit more distance. Right behind him, looks like Machado taking a look. He's way down the beach. He's up and riding. He's driving down the line. Can he get the face? He gets the big floater over the back of the wave. Oh, and he goes down. Machado takes a fall, the first one we've seen here in the final.
Could be costly. Slater again.
On the backhand, Slater accelerates around the section. Big aerial upside down, and he pulls it. Slater's just going ballistic here. That last aerial, well, that one was even better. That was an unbelievable aerial there from Kelly Slater.
Shall we say it? Kelly Slater on fire. Check him out.
Here's a look at it again. You see he gets the float there. It gives him a lot of speed, and it sets him up for this aerial. He goes up. He virtually upside down there, and he lands it. Unbelievable. He picks up a 7.33.
Great stuff, and you know the judges hiding behind their partitions there are just loving it too. This is a great final, and it is probably going to come down to Machado and Slater. Ross Williams has got to get something going, though.
A beautiful outside move there from Ross Williams. Oh, but he falls, and he lets that great outside move go to waste. And that's a costly move. That was a big outside wave today out here at Huntington. Good 4 or 5 footer, and he takes a fall there on the inside.
So while Slater's pulling it off, both Williams and Machado falling on their last rides.
You see that maneuver there? That was a great maneuver. Then he goes for another one here, and he pearls the nose there, just puts it under, and he can't bring it out, and he only picks up the 4.17.
Unfortunate, paddling out in search of other things. Thomas.
On his backhand, we haven't seen much of Marty Thomas on his backhand. He's been favoring the forehand, and this one's not doing much for him. And he hasn't really had a great final. It looks a little tired. He hasn't really put a lot into it. And it really looks to me like it's out of Slater and Machado. But Slater, those last 2 aerials, I think he might have it in the bag.
Well, my friend, I'm going to have to eat a little crow, perhaps, because Slater was incredible. I picked Machado, you picked Slater. And Slater's going to be tough to beat. As that's it, the final's over.
Yeah, you can take that pick to the bank today, I'm telling you, those last 2 aerials.
Don't gloat on me.
And here's a look at that last wave of Marty Thomas. Doesn't pick up the big score because it really didn't connect on the inside. Just one maneuver. We'll be back with the final results after this.
From the beach, people just see the wave close over you for a few seconds and then you're out. But time is relative. Inside the wave, it all changes. It like stretches. It happens because for an instant, you're living completely. Each moment is critical. Your reflexes must be perfect, your timing precise. Here, time is relative, but timing isn't. Freestyle watches, performance timing machines.
Bud Pro Surfing has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. For that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud. By Body Glove, built for life. By Freestyle USA, performance timing machines. By Gatorade for that deep down body thirst. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save money on collect calls. We are back. Southern California, Surf City, Huntington Beach, the Body Glove at Huntington. Time now to crown the champions. Marty Thomas in 4th. There's Ross Williams picking up his 3rd place medal and a kiss. And it's all coming down to Rob Machado and Kelly Slater. As Fig makes the announcement, these are really good buddies. In the yellow, Machado in 2nd, which means Kelly Slater, our champion at the Body Glove here in Huntington. And $4,000 going into Kelly's account. Here are the results. Here in Huntington Beach, Kelly Slater wins. Rob Machado just behind. Williams and Thomas follow up, which means now our Bud leaderboard through 4 events. Brownie still in the lead, but Slater right behind. The pressure's on. And Thomas, Machado, and Collins. Here's PT.
Thanks, Bill. I'm here with today's champion, Kelly Slater. Kelly, that's 2 for 4 so far in the Bud Tour. You told me when we were down at Bell's you're going to win this and everything else.
No, I told you I'm going to try to win everything else, PT. No, I just got a lot of high goals set for myself this year. So, you know, if I set my goals real high, if I don't, conquer all of them, then I'll be satisfied anyways, because I'll be striving for that. And I'll probably do well in the process. And so far this year, I've surfed 7 events, and I've had 4 firsts. So I'm batting about 600 or something, So I'm having a really good year. It's my best start ever, and I couldn't be happier.
Your sparring partner, Rob Machado, was out there in the final again. It seems when you guys are in the water together, you both elevate your performance.
Yeah, I think think we do. I think he does for me. But I'm kind of getting this feeling in the final he doesn't want to beat me because he told me, he said, I don't like sitting around. I like to get second because I like to get out of there. I don't want to have to do all the interviews and everything.
And he doesn't want to pay that chart house bill.
Yeah, we probably end up coming out the same, only have to stay at the beach a little longer.
Well, congratulations on the win today.
Thanks a lot.
Back to you, Bill.
That'll do it here from Surf City, Huntington Beach, California. Congratulations to our champions, and many thanks, of course, to PT Peter Tonnen and Chris Morrow. That'll do it. We'll see you again when we go to the islands. We'll be in Hawaii as the endless summer continues here on Prime. Until then, I'm Bill McDonald. Thanks for watching. See ya. Special thanks to Surf Dog Productions, the music liaison of the Bud Surf Tour. And to 976 Surf, the official wave forecaster of Bud Pro Surfing.